Is this the worst phase in the MCU?
Yes.
What is up, Film Geeks? My name is Trevor, and welcome to my channel. I am joined by one of my best friends in the whole wide world, Chris from Film Stock. How are you doing today, sir?
I'm doing good. Feels damn good to be here. It's been a while, but it's good to be back.
It's good to be back, absolutely. Today we are ranking all the Phase 4 MCU movies. Let us know your ranking down below in the comment section. What is the best movie of Phase 4? Do you like Phase 4 overall? I don't think this is the worst phase.
Okay.
I would say it might be my second favorite phase, but that's a topic for another time. We're going to go how it's going to go. There's 7 movies in Phase 4. I'm going to give you my 7, his 7, 6, 6, 5, 4, so on and so forth. You want to do the honors?
I will start. I think we're going to be talking about the same movie right now. Number 7 for me is Thor: Love and Thunder.
Yes. This is, in my opinion, the worst movie of the year. Not just in MCU Phase 4. It is my least favorite MCU movie, and I don't even want to talk about it because I just hate on it so much.
Yeah, the issue with it is it's a complete joke. It never really takes itself seriously.
Exactly.
And from start to finish, really unfunny and kind of a disservice to Thor, in my opinion.
I knew I was in for like a terrible movie, and we saw this one together when he hopped on a Stormbreaker like a witch's broom, and I looked at you, and he kind of went,
yeah.
And I was like, oh my gosh. So easily gonna go in last place. You can go ahead, number 6.
My number 6 is going to be Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness. You and I sort of have differing thoughts on this, but I really like Sam Raimi's directorial style here. What I can't stand is the way that the movie kind of does a little bait and switch, where it's like, oh, this is like the future of the MCU with the Illuminati. Boom, they're dead 5 minutes later.
That's fair.
Wanda, she's understood, but I think that they went just so far with her. Like, I can't stand what they do with Wanda in this movie. I think the visuals here really cool. I want to highlight that, but just never really resonated with this one. Like, for whatever reason, I just don't dig multiverse that much.
What an idiot!
At number 6 for me is going to be Eternals. Eternals was a movie that I will stand by this, and I say this every time. It should have been a series. A fleshed out 12, honestly almost 15 episode series. Epic. Chloe Zhao could still be directing it. But like characters of Phastos, Icarus, all these people who are awesome and badass, dude, they got just brushed over and like jumbled in this whole like, they've been alive forever. There were Celestials, all these different things. Arsham, whatever the hell his name is. None of it was really making sense. And I tried to rewatch this one a couple months ago. Turned it on for 15 minutes and I turned it off at like minute 16. I was like, I just can't do it. It's my second least favorite MCU movie. I would rather watch The Incredible Hulk, the black sheep of the MCU, over The Eternals and Thor: Love and Thunder.
There you have it. Eternals is actually my number 5. It is a lower tier MCU movie for me. I agree. I share some issues. It feels like it's doing way too much too fast. It introduces like an entire lineup of Eternals, and we're supposed to care about these characters this quickly. Even though I do, like there's some cool characters in this movie. The issue again is it's introducing like grand concepts that are like shifting the universe as we know it within the MCU.
Right.
It gets a little too convoluted, even confusing for its own good, in my opinion. We got Harry Styles in the post-credit scene, and we also got Dane Whitman. Love me some Jon Snow, so hopefully he comes back with a vengeance soon.
And Blade, right?
Yeah.
But Blade's never coming out, so
who knows?
That's a topic for another time.
Wow.
At number 5 for me is Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. Now, I like this one, I think, a lot more than you,
so, yeah.
right? And it's my top 20 of my MCU ranking. Now, I do have problems with it, and like the cheese factor, and I guess that's kind of Sam Raimi's style. I can feel that a lot throughout this movie. I loved America Chavez, and I would say that Scarlet Witch is top 3 MCU villain in general from this movie. She's menacing. She has a purpose. I agree about the Illuminati. One of the best fan-pleasing moments ever, seeing John Krasinski show up, but to kill him within 10 minutes doesn't sit well with me. It still doesn't. We'll see if that kind of comes back and comes around. We'll see if Scarlet Witch ever does return. I like this movie, but the one thing that kind of lost me was when he went like the whole zombie weird mode. It went a little too far, almost in like the Evil Dead world of Sam Raimi. I like this movie. I don't love this movie. I wanted to love it a lot more. My most anticipated movie of the year. Is it disappointing to be at number 20? No, but I definitely wanted it to be higher. Or I guess number 5 for the Phase 4.
Yeah, listening to you talk about it, one more point I wanted to make. I wish it explored the multiverse a little bit more. That's just me. It kind of zoomed through some really cool elements that it could have explored. Again, that's just me. But my number 4, a movie that I think gets way too much hate, is Black Widow.
My number 4 as well, so we talk about it together.
Okay, cool. We saw this one in theaters together.
Yep.
It was the first MCU movie we saw together.
And then twice in theaters together.
Yeah, and then I watched it on a plane. I watched this movie 3 times in like 3 days, and I still enjoy the hell out of it. What I love about it is it's a family story. It's very simple. It's heartwarming and feel good to me.
Yes.
Seeing Red Guardian, seeing Yelena, like the father-daughter relationship, seeing the sisterhood relationship between Nat and Yelena. So much to love here. Now, admittedly, god-awful villains.
Awful.
But I like the way this movie makes me feel so much that I can kind of look past that.
That's fair. I would say the introduction of Red Guardian, Yelena alone makes this a much better movie than Bond and Phase 4. I know a lot that you were saying a lot of people hate on this movie. I don't understand the hate. I never did. It's a low-stakes movie. Like, going into it, my expectations weren't through the roof because I knew Natasha was going to live.
Yeah.
The stakes are low. Let's have some fun.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what they do. And I cannot wait for the Thunderbolts. Oh my gosh, I can't wait for the Thunderbolts.
It's going to be incredible to see them, to see Red Guardian land back. Plus, this filled in some gaps. It felt like a nice little prequel. Yeah. And it was long overdue. Black Widow should have had a solo movie in Phase 1.
Absolutely. So I enjoyed this one quite a bit.
Yeah. Number 3 for me is going to be the newly released Black Panther Wakanda Forever, which a lot of people think I hate. I don't. I actually like it. All right. Namor, arguably the best Phase 4 MCU villain, fully fleshed out, and the MCU really struggles to do that lately. They finally gave him a meaningful backstory. Riri Williams is introduced here, absolute scene stealer.
Fantastic.
And again, they continue to build the world of Wakanda and the city that Namor's in. The name's escaping me. So much like
Kalotan or Lokatan?
Yeah, there's so much depth.
Oh my gosh.
I'm excited to rewatch this one. I think I will have a new appreciation for it. Really do this time. I feel it in my heart.
Number 3 for me, Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings. I think this is your number 2.
My number 2. Fire movie.
Fire movie. I remember you saw it early and you told me, like, dude, Shang-Chi's one of the coolest characters in the MCU. And that is the biggest of facts. He is one of the coolest characters ever to grace the universe. And I was just some of the best hand-to-hand combat we got in the MCU. I like the kung fu karate style, and I like movies about like a certain culture, and they dive deep into this culture. And the Legend of the Ten Rings was badass and awesome. Wenwu, great villain. Not a fan how they killed him off. I thought it was the weakest death for any of the villains in the MCU. It does get a little crazy and out there in the third act. Like, it does lose you a little bit. But I saw this one 2 or 3 times in theaters, and I laughed and I had fun. I would say it's one of the funniest MCU movies, and not overly funny, naturally funny.
Very natural comedy there with characters of Katie. Trevor from Iron Man 3 has like a nice little redemption moment there. Just hilarious moments. I love the
mate, just performance.
The exploration of Talo and like the fantasy side of the MCU.
Yes.
Something that was really untapped before this movie, and they went full on in it here. Wenwu, a very strong Phase 4 villain. I wish they would have maybe had some stronger moments in his final moments, near his death. But again, really enjoy this one, and it's just an action spectacle. Like the first fight scene on the bus. It's so dope when the music starts playing. It's like boom, 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 and then it's like slow mo, and it's like
he watched his face go. Oh, it's so good. Great movie in general, and again, just great, like you said, exploring the fantasy. I love this one a lot.
Yeah. So that was my 2 and your 3. So you want to give your 2?
My number 2 is going to be Spider-Man: No Way Home. Now, I talk I'm a hater about this movie, and I catch myself almost hating on it. It's a top 5 MCU movie for me. Like, I love this movie, and it's probably top 6 now. Kind of gotta switch that around a little bit, but No Way Home relies so much on the fan service, and I will stand by this. I've seen this movie probably 7 times now, and it took me on my 7th watch, which was a couple months ago, to finally get behind that. The first hour and a half, you're just waiting. You're waiting and you're waiting and you're waiting. And when then Toby and Andrew show up in those portals, the movie takes off.
Correct!
And from that point on, I would say it's the best MCU movie, the best third act of any MCU movie we got. Over Infinity War, over Endgame. Seeing Toby and Andrew and Tom on screen together. Just every time I rewatch it or think about it, I'm like, it kind of bugs me.
I know what you mean. My number 1, no surprise here, is Spider-Man: No Way Home, so I'm going to talk about that right now. I adore the theatrical experience, and of course the last hour, perfection. Like from the moment in the movie where we get Norman's on sabbatical, honey.
That's great.
From then on, the movie's perfect to me.
Takes off, yes.
I do agree, especially once I've seen the movie 7 times. The more you rewatch a movie, any movie in my opinion, it usually kind of falls off little pockets. You're like, I can maybe fast forward through this. What I love about this movie though, that I think people kind of dismiss online, is the fact that Toby and Andrew are in this movie, and it is a nostalgia trip for sure, but it's not like they just showed up to show up. This is when Tom Holland's Peter Parker is at his lowest of lows. He just lost Aunt May. They come back, and they both relate to him. Yes. And Peter Parker, Tom Holland, finds himself in other Spider-Men, and they raise him up, and I'm getting chills thinking about how beautiful it is right now, seeing them swing together in unison, and they're all pretty much brothers. They're all themselves. Wonderful writing there. We get Green Goblin, the best Phase 4 villain in my opinion. Awesome action near the end. Admittedly, a lot slower on rewatch through that first hour, but it's sort of dealing with the aftermath of Far From Home. And honestly, kind of letting us see Peter Parker live his life with MJ. Seeing things kind of fall off so that we can really feel for him when the third act rolls around.
But number 1 for me, I'm probably not a surprise, it's Black Panther Wakanda Forever. I was excited for this movie, and while I do have a couple of gripes and problems with it, there's a time jump in this movie and exploring the world of Namor, exploring, getting Riri Williams added as Ironheart, my favorite part about this movie, and Namor is the best part about this movie. It's action-packed, it is badass, it is emotional, and that post-credit scene, I would say is my favorite of the Phase 4 movies, one of my favorite post-credit scenes in general. That's when it hit me in emotions. I was like, oh my gosh, like, that's when I could feel myself getting teared up. I didn't know I was going to be on board with Shuri, but I was on board with Shuri. I loved her a lot. This movie, it just worked for me on every single level. I want to go see it again. It might go down for me. It might go even more up right now.
I'm interested to see, honestly.
Yeah, I'm in too. So it might be like a next weekend. Go and check it out again. But let us know your ranking of the Phase 4 movies down below in the comments section. Head over to Film Stock. We got a Phase 4 projects ranking over there on tier list style. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hit the like button, subscribe button, notification bell so you don't miss out on any future content. We'll see you in the next one.